What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have some big things happening in the market this week. Warren Buffett now owns $5 billion of OXY. We still have a ton of Russia updates, and the market is probably going to be wild again this week. Crude oil just keeps going higher and higher and higher, and there's a lot going on, so make sure to stick with us towards the end of today's video. But Tom, what should we be watching for the market for this week?
Yeah, I think the biggest things to look at, Mike, are these commodities. Obviously, they've been going insane. We have crude oil continuing to fly to the upside. We ended up closing above $115 a barrel at the end of the day on Friday, or I should say we closed right at 115 actually. So oil's closing up there at the highs. We have gold continuing to run up as well. GLD ran all the way up to 184.99 in after hours. We could pretty much say 185. So the commodities are definitely continuing to go up, Mike, and all the tensions in Russia are not stopping anytime soon. We can see that over 1.5 million refugees have left Ukraine in the last 10 days, according to the UN. And there's just a bunch of huge headlines that came out. UK's Boris Johnson outlines a 6-point plan for Ukraine, talks about possibly doing more to help Ukraine defend themselves, and talks about preventing any normalizations of Putin's actions in Ukraine, because obviously if we don't take action now, he might just keep going after more countries. And it also encourages other countries like China to also keep doing some bad stuff. But obviously, Mike, these tensions are not going away. And as we can see, crude oil is just going insane. We have stocks like OXY flying up to 57.24, up 17% on Friday, as these oil stocks just continue to move higher.
Absolutely. Just the commodities are really booming week after week, Tom. Like, the market has been very iffy. You know, some days it's good, some days it's terrible. But these commodities, like these oil stocks, gold and silver, like you said, GLD and SLV, even wheat and potash are just booming to the upside. So, guys, if you're looking to trade like gold and silver, check out GLD and SLV. MOS is one of those potash plays that's really been on the rise as well. Potash stocks have been booming to the upside. And then kind of like Tom already said, related to some of the energy stocks, like we have like ExxonMobil, OXY, and I guess you could even say Chevron for like the oil plays.
Yeah, they're starting to get pretty explosive, and we can look at them on the daily charts. You can see Chevron is really getting up there. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row of just straight green upside momentum there. Same thing with Exxon, some nice momentum over the past couple of weeks as well, and we're starting to really break out to the upside. But I saw a really interesting article, Mike, involving OXY, and this is actually pretty big. Warren Buffett reveals a $5 billion stake in Occidental Petroleum, which is OXY. He actually released a statement over the weekend, but as of Friday, Berkshire owns 91.2 million common shares of OXY, which is insane. And the crazy thing to me, Mike, is more than 61 million shares were bought on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at prices ranges from 47.07 to 56.45. So I know that Warren Buffett owned a little bit of OXY over the past few months. He's been buying a little bit since the beginning of the year. But the thing is it's insane to me how he's buying at these high prices, Mike. I wonder if he's going to be really bullish on this one in the short term.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Tom. It's a tough one because, like you said, like he is buying at a relatively high price, but Warren Buffett is definitely one of those longer term guys. So I really think it's mainly a play on those commodities. So we will see, but it's definitely an interesting trade.
Yeah, it is. And, I know he has lots of other positions, so he might be trying to maybe protect some of his other plays. I know that he's in a lot of plays like Kraft, and obviously he's been in a bunch of plays in the past. So we'll have to kind of like eye up his portfolio as the week moves on. But it's definitely going to be interesting. I know OXY's been on a huge uptrend, and if it does continue, I mean, who better to help back your stock there other than Warren Buffett? Whenever he gets in, sometimes it just drives in a bunch of investors. So definitely keep OXY on the radar. With all the tensions going on, I would not be surprised to see this one continue up this week as well.
You know it. So, Tom, I know a lot of companies in the US and around the world have been just kind of leaving Russia. Can you tell us more about that situation?
Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of companies leaving Russia, suspending operations, and doing different stuff like that. And the biggest one to me, Mike, is over the weekend, I saw that Visa and MasterCard were going to be suspending their operations. Obviously, these are two of the biggest credit card companies in the world. They might not be the two biggest, but in the end, they are very, very popular and they're used all over the place. So looking at Visa and MasterCard, Mike, it's insane to see them cut ties with Russia. I also saw reports that Shell is defending themselves after they bought discounted oil from Russia. So we're seeing some crazy stuff go on. I wonder if Shell might get in trouble for buying from Russia. I know they're buying oil right now at discounted prices because obviously Russia is having some problems selling stuff because people just don't want to deal with them right now. So stuff's getting crazy, Mike. I just can't believe that we're seeing all the stuff we are with all these companies leaving. And I hope it doesn't affect Visa or MasterCard in a negative way. I don't think it really will too much, but as we see, these companies are starting to really, you could say, sanction Russia or just totally cut ties with them. It's pretty crazy. I know Apple just did it last week too.
How about RSX, Tom? This is the Russian ETF, and this has just been bleeding big time. Over the past couple months, it fell from like $33 down to $5. So these Russian stocks are taking a massive hit. And in London, they suspended a lot of Russian stocks, and like I think they suspended 27 of them to be exact. And most of them just got absolutely destroyed and lost like over 95% of their value.
Yeah, they did. I actually have the article right here. It was insane to see some of those lose like 99%. An oil company lost 99.2%. Some lost only like 95%, but still, I mean, that's insane to see. I know that the London Stock Exchange obviously isn't as big as ours, but still, I mean, to see those stocks tumble that bad, that's pretty telling, Mike. And as we know, everyone's just getting upset with Russia, and who knows? I bet the RSX will open even lower this week. And last week we got as low as $5 at one point, and I'm wondering if we'll go even lower than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then what do we have in, I guess you'd say, on the schedule related to earnings this week?
Yeah, for earnings, it's not the biggest earnings week, but I will say there is some interesting ones. Obviously, Tuesday we have Dick's Sporting Goods here. I think that one's going to be pretty interesting as far as some of the retail companies go. I know they're pretty big, but Wednesday we have CrowdStrike and Asana. I feel like those have been pretty popular over the past year, Mike. CRWD obviously is a pretty big stock. Asana is a little bit newer, but I know ASAN has been super popular over the past few weeks. But to me, Mike, the biggest day is going to be Thursday. We have Blink, DocuSign, Rivian, and Oracle on Thursday after close. So that's going to be a pretty big day. I'm personally interested to see how Blink does. I know they've been big in that EV charging space.
True. I'm really curious to see how Asana does on Wednesday after close. Like you said, they're not the biggest company in the world, but their CEO has just been dumping billions of dollars with a B into that stock. And insiders only buy shares of stock for one reason and one reason only, and that's because they think it will go up. They can sell their shares for any number of reasons, but when they're buying, it's because they think it'll go up. And over the past couple months, Asana fell quite a bit, and overall, they're on a long-term uptrend, and I know earnings have been so crazy lately. So it's definitely on my watch list, and the ticker symbol is ASAN.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, Mike. On the daily chart, it's actually sitting right around support as well. I know that the CEO is probably bullish for the longer term, but still, I mean, I hope the earnings go well, and hopefully him buying, obviously signals that the stock might do good. As we know, those insiders obviously have way more information than we know sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. So do we have any other major things on the schedule for this week?
Nothing too crazy, but I will say on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we do have the inflation rates coming out for February. So that's going to be big to look at for this week. But while this week isn't too eventful as far as like all the Fed's decisions and stuff like that, next week we're going to have the FOMC meetings and their interest rate decisions and everything like that. So definitely be prepared for next week. But as far as this week goes, all we're going to have is the inflation rate for February.
Sounds good. So I just want to give a giant shout out to Alex L on YouTube. Thank you so much for all of the kind words in support for the channel. Tom and I really appreciate you. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We post brand new videos every single day. But Tom, do you have any final thoughts before we close out?
Yeah, just these commodities are insane, Mike. And we've also been seeing some of the value stocks do pretty good lately. I know like Walmart's been on a pretty good uptrend here. Coca-Cola generally lately has been doing well. I know Caterpillar's been pretty good. So don't forget about these value plays, guys. Sometimes in this type of market, whenever we're seeing things go crazy, sometimes value stocks are the ones that, move better or survive this type of action. So definitely keep these on the radar. I think they will be good to trade. Stocks like Caterpillar, Walmart, Target. Looks like they're going back on the uptrend. So hopefully we see that stuff continue. And then, Mike, I'm really hoping to see a turnaround out of the airline sector. We continue to see that this sector move lower. AAL was down 7% on Friday. So hopefully we start to see some good action back to the upside. And maybe we'll start to see Boeing start to move back up.
True that. Alrighty, so let's get right into these momentum plays. With the first one, we have Beyond to the downside.
Yeah, beyond meat. Go ahead and make them break down below 42.70, which was their low of Friday.
All right, with the next one, we have Penn to the downside.
10 Gaming, make them go ahead and break below 45.75. They kind of double bottom there Friday.
All right, and then with the last one, we have Neo also to the downside.
Man, everything's fallen down, Mike. Go ahead and make Neo break below 18.50.
Friday was brutal, Tom. So many stocks fell. I mean, even AI was down nearly 15%. So, yeah, it was crazy. But just to recap with those momentum plays, we're watching Neo, Penn, and Beyond for potential day trades to the downside tomorrow, only if they break below the levels Tom listed. And last but not least, if you trade options, definitely check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Our bot did amazing last week. It called out 5 options day trades. 4 out of the 5 plays won. The plays that won popped for 56%, 83%, 47%, and basically 20%. So the best play last week went from $133 to $243 in just a couple hours. That was VXX on Tuesday. So if you trade options, check out this bot. You can cancel it anytime. It had a great week last week. You have access to a great community, including chatting all day with Tom and myself, and it's pretty awesome. And best of all, you can cancel it anytime if you don't like it. No problem at all. You can cancel. We have a coupon running right now, so definitely check it out. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching.